Welcome to The Update. I'm Eleanor Quirk. Labor is switching its focus back to health issues as we enter the final stretch of the election campaign. Ahead of tonight's fourth and final debate, Anthony Albanese will campaign in Western Sydney, where he'll add $200 million to his Medicare policy. The PM says he's not taking anything for granted.
Well, I say to Australians on May 3, make sure you know where the destination is, because it is destination chaos and destination shambles and destination cuts from Peter Dutton if he's successful next Saturday.
Meanwhile, Peter Dutton is addressing a rally in Melbourne's west before travelling to Sydney for the debate.
What we'll be doing is going from one end of the country to the other, visiting marginal seats, and that's where this election is going to be won. People can live in the bubble, but it's a different world in Canberra than it is here in Leichhardt, than it is in Werriwa, than it is in Whitlam. In real life, these people are struggling.
Pope Francis has been taken to his final resting place following his funeral at St Peter's Square. More than 250,000 people, including world leaders and royalty, gathered in Rome to farewell the 88-year-old. Father Peter Williams says he's the first pontiff not to be buried in the grottos beneath the basilica in more than a century.
Where he's going to be buried, which is Santa Maria Maggiore or St Mary Major Church, which is where he chose that he wanted to be buried, rather than in the crypt of St Peter's.
Meanwhile, Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky and Donald Trump used the funeral as a chance to continue discussions over the war with Russia. It's the first time the pair have come face-to-face since their fiery White House meeting. Mr Zelensky says discussions with the president were positive.
I don't want to go to a lot of details, if it's possible, because the questions, very sensitive questions on, of course, totally it's about how to bring peace to Ukraine.
Sport and entertainment are next.
2 words, Revo Fitness. Here's a few more. Simple, 24/7, reformer Pilates, body scanners, massage chairs, squat racks, free weights, pin and plate loaded equipment, no lock-in contracts, no bullshit. All of that and more from just $9.69 a week. That's surprisingly affordable. Join now at Revo Fitness Windsor Gardens or download the Revo Fitness app, revofitness.com.au, or find the Revo Fitness app in the App Store.
To sport, the Western Bulldogs defeated the Giants by 32 points in Canberra. The third term belonged to the Dogs as they kicked 5 unanswered goals to take the win 113-81. Coach Luke Beveridge over the moon.
We managed to get territory too from centre bounce, and our efficiency from forward half turnovers was, to kick 6 goals from 15 forward half turnovers is a bloody good strike rate for us, and the centre bounce side of it and stoppage side of it was really pleasing again.
NRL and the Panthers unable to capitalise on last week's win, going down to the Sea Eagles 26-10, and the Cowboys thumped the Titans 50-18. To entertainment, police have surrounded Gordon Ramsay's LA home in response to a bogus 911 call. The outspoken chef, the latest to be targeted in the so-called swatting scam, where false gunfire at celebrities' homes is reported to police. Police searching around his Bel Air mansion before declaring it a prank.
Rescue idiot, if you don't mind, just give us 2 minutes. I just want to make sure this one's not a real thing. Yeah, we're going to call this shooting a fall.
And despite selling out in Australia, Katy Perry is struggling to sell tickets for her world tour on home soil. A number of US dates have barely sold for the Lifetimes tour, which kicks off next month in Houston, where only half the available tickets have sold. And that's the latest from the Nova podcast team. We'll see you again soon for another episode of The Update.
2 words, Revo Fitness. Here's a few more. Simple, 24/7, reformer Pilates, body scanners, massage chairs, squat racks, free weights, pin and plate loaded equipment, no lock-in contracts, no bullshit. All of that and more from just $9.69 a week. That's surprisingly affordable. Join now at Revo Fitness Windsor Gardens or download the Revo Fitness app, revofitness.com.au, or find the Revo Fitness app in the App Store.